Hello folks, well, said we've got another realistic 1001 to do. This one's got a jammed telescopic aerial. So as we pull out the sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and count, 7, 8, 9, and we can't pull out the 10th section. So what I propose doing is to take out the telescopic rod antenna. That will enable us to service the radio properly and get some meaningful readings. Put it in an ultrasonic cleaner at about 70 degrees centigrade with isopropyl alcohol in it for about 20 minutes. And then we can see whether we can get it to open, because it's no jolly good whatever is it if you can't pull the aerial up. And of course SWR comes into that. See, who's seen TV programs in the 70s and 80s and they only pull up telescopic aerials a bit? Well, whilst my soldering iron warms up, I may as well take the side screws out. And if that doesn't fit shift it, all I can think of doing is to fill the ultrasonic cleaner with WD-40. These are all corroded. So this is also the late version, like the last one with the power preset in it. You get better range on this model. They've got the loading coil far and away better than in the first version. Oh my goodness, what's happened here? Somebody's put a ferrite bead in. Or no, it's just no, it haven't. It's just so corroded. Look at the side. So you can see why the antenna's jammed. I'm not going to pull it and pull it and pull it because I'm going to end up, you know, you're going to end up pulling the whole thing out and breaking it. So water will have got into the bottom and caused that problem. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll put that in the chemical cleaner and come back. Right, so I've put that in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I've been through this for the rivets which we have to do the dry joints on both sides. I'm not taking the screening plate off because the set hasn't been presented as a non-worker, so it's had a lot of rework, hasn't it, because of corrosion. So of course the fear there is it's not going to be as reliable as one that hasn't had the corrosion. Right, so if we put our adapter, our Motorola adapter on, plug it into the external aerial socket, and we have a power lead somewhere. It should still be on here because I didn't take it off. Yep, there we go. So remember, these are a 12 volt radio. The maximum input voltage is 12.5. Do not connect to 13.8. Remember, it's 10 batteries if they're 1.2 volt rechargeables, or 8 batteries plus 2 dummies if it's 1.5 volt. So it's 12 volts on batteries. So there we go, 12 volts. That's what we're on right now. Put the power supply on. There we go. I'm expecting a delivery. I think it's a bought off eBay. What was it? I've only got Kerno in mind. It's not. Manichestrel, that's what it is. Right. Let's see. Yep, certainly transmitting. So we're on the 3 watt scale. Let's put the picture-in-picture on. So on the 3 watt scale we're doing 1.8 watts. Let's pop it on channel 40, 1.5 watts, and channel 1, 2 watts. It's a bit off balance. Low power, and back to channel 20. It is 110 milliwatts. That's not adjustable. Back at full power, our current consumption 670 milliamps. So if we can get a bit more out of the transmission, it would be ideal. They're a 3.5 watt radio. So we'll look at deviation on here. Need to retune it because we were on CPT last. Wallow. It's reading 1.5 on this test set, but that might be a load of tosh. We're not going to do the VCO, which is under the thing, so we don't do this with every set, and we have a different range of tariffs depending what test equipment and tasks and how long it takes. So let's have a look at whether we're on anywhere near on frequency. I did press the button, there we go. Test set's not been on that long. 79094. So we'll transfer that to the signal generator. We're now matching. See if it's receiving. Not that we're going to hear anything without a speaker connected, and we want our test instrument speaker plugging into the earphone socket at the top. Sounds nice. So without the rod antenna dragging on it, we can do some real tests today. I can hear it at 0.3 of a microvolt, so we'll just put picture-in-picture onto the cyanide meter and have a quick check. So for 12 dB it's doing 0.71. For 10 dB I need it to be holding on to the range boost side panels. It's 0.64. Just go back to 12. Yeah, still the same. And 20, that will do it. 2. Squelch, non-adjustable, internally, and it's 500 and, no it's not, 15, 16, 17. Threshold, is 1. So it doesn't, it has an RF meter, that's true, but it's not adjustable. The RF meter is the battery meter in receive. If we're going to transmit, it's the RF meter. We just tick that off as working. Doesn't have an S meter, doesn't have a meter lamp. Switch is working, potentiometers are working, socket's working, and PA function isn't something there. Built-in mic's working, and we didn't test the speaker. Well, that's gone through that, hasn't it? Let's turn the volume down. We need the white tool. So it'll be easy for me if I plug in an external mic, and I haven't got the external mic on here, so I'll have to go and fetch that in a bit. So we should be starting with this one, and then working down there, and then those two. And the trouble is they've got this paint on to stop them shifting, and it's definitely out of balance. That's peak. Now we want to check that we're actually on full power on here for the net for now. That's helped. So we're now at 3.1 watts. Now we'll go through it properly. Reminding myself I'm on channel 20. That's peak, but it was already at peak. That's at peak. That was miles out. I'm going to go back. Because they can interact with each other. About 3.35 now, it's warm. So let's see where we are on the other channels. Hopefully it's ironed itself out. 3.3. That's a bit lower. 3.35. I've forgotten where we were with the others. Channel 40, 3.35. Channel 1, 3.2. Right, well that's balanced enough for me. When this cools down it'll probably do 3.5 watts. But I'm not pushing it. So we'll keep that on full whack. I'll just check that full whack. No, it really is in the correct position. So we've got current consumption now 973 milliamps, which is a bit more like what you'd expect. To go from 1.8 watts to 3 and 3.3 is great. Low power, and it's not had an easy life looking at that corrosion. Low power is now 170 milliwatts, and deviation we'll have to do on the test set behind, which isn't even on. So we'll come back to that. So we'll look at the receive, which is already working very well. So 100 microvolts on the test set. The oscilloscope on. And detector. That was already spot on. Receive, right. Let's go over to the cyanide meter. And don't touch that one, it's the spectrum analyzer filter one. That was already spot on. Micro adjustment there. There we go. Crystal filtered as standard. I'll make sure I grab hold of the chassis. Don't expect there's going to be any change. .74. Especially if I don't turn the volume down. No, it's 0.67. I'm not going to grab it this time. 0.58. Any improvement on 20? 1.8. No. 5, 6, 7, 1.9. So squelch should still be the same. Squelch to full. When did it come in? Oh, it's 2 exactly. 20. We're going to read the right scales. And for threshold, nice if it's under 1 now. Let's see. Oops, turned the wrong one. Show you the attenuator. 0.92. So come back to this in 20 minutes and we'll do the frequency and we'll do the deviation. Right, I'm back with you and we've unjammed the telescopic aerial. So we'll plug this into the other test set and see what deviation we've really got. I'll get my extension mic. Okay. Wow, that is 2 dead. They've got funny AGC these at the beginning of each sentence, a bit like Bannerton Route 66 has had. Wow, that's it. Good. Well, still a bit of light, so you never know. We might get this back together and in time for an earlier on the air test. Right, so I think the time has come to put the rod antenna back. We've done all the adjustments. Check these screws are tight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just collapse some of those smaller ones. 7, 8, 9, 10. My boss at Nottingham Radio would have said, go to the top of the class and jump off. So on this aerial you have the pillar, which we showed with its screw. I think we're going to go to the trouble of always taking the rod antennas off these so we get some more meaningful figures than when it's dragging on the loading. At the end of the day you only got to take out 4 extra screws. Just check that for continuity. At least this set isn't broken at the bottom like the other one was. It's just full of water. So just check our meters. Yep. So from there, yeah. Good. Get those screws back in it. PTT bar back in. Always put the screws in loosely, and then they'll all, once they're all located, you can tighten them all up. Right, that goes for anything you're screwing together, even if it's a desk. Right, we're back on the other test set, so let's have a look at the... No, don't want to look at that. No, I don't want to look at that either. I want to look at the main meter. Wallow. 1, 2, wallow. It says about 2.8 on that one, but it's probably lying. Right. So it was 2.0. It's now 2.2 to 2.5 peak. So now we've just really got the... I'll tick that off. Done. Wow. So that was ultrasonic cleaner, 70 degrees, filled with the isopropyl alcohol. And I ran it through twice. So 2 lots of 20 minutes. Frequency. $27,791.09. So we'll just take the radio off and do the frequency. That's under here. Sometimes this is going to be soldered to stop it flopping about. These aren't easy to put back on. Frequency is here, VCO is there. Don't get them muddled up. There we go. Turning the set back off. It's all shaped this, so oh, well, it's the best one I've ever put on. Right, the lid. Retin that. So although you can see I've done my best with the dry joints, and I didn't even bother twirling it on. I didn't bother twirling it on until I'd done the dry joints. It was supposed to be a working set with a jam telescopic. So, but it's the kind of thing I don't want to have this in, go through all that trouble of doing a retune and not checking for dry joints. Right, check it on its own speaker. Yep, good. Good, that's it. Right, so we'll swap this for now for the roof aerial. Tell you what, we'll put these screws in it as well as a special treat. put them in relatively loosely. Put the back one in. I'll look at the battery compartment. We're not putting batteries, we don't do that kind of thing. Could do with a fiberglass brush running over it, but that isn't something I'm doing. Right. So we're plugging into the roof area. I'm wondering where it is. It's in my lap. Nineteen, Roger. Tango 21 to Mr. Chippy, can you call me on channel 31 please? Probably not. Right. Just get that out of the speaker grill. Looks immaculate, doesn't it, that one? But there we go. We're all done. That can go back. We're doing on the air test. These can go back to the customer. Thank you for watching. Realistic TRC1001 from 1982. It's the late version.